Hey there, beautiful people. It's your girl Lincy. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, hey girl, hey, nice to see you again. I have been obsessing over this no makeup. It's summer. I want my makeup to be a little bit lighter, and so I came across Lori Harvy's Vogue video, and I'm gonna be following along with her tips that she shared in the video and kind of do a side. I think her like moisturizer has SPF in it, but mine doesn't. So I'm gonna go in with my daily SPF. This is the Drunk Elephant Umbrella Sheer Physical Daily Defense Protection. Super long name, but it is the SPF I'm currently using. So she started her makeup look off with no primer, so I'm not gonna apply any primer today, but she did go in and kind of set her skin with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. So I'm gonna do the same, but I'm actually gonna go in with medium deep just because it is a little bit closer to my complexion, and I feel like it'll turn out better since this is, you know, gonna be a lightweight look. So I'm just gonna take some of that powder, and she just kind of buffs it into the skin. I lied. Lori definitely did use a primer, but we're here now, too late. I think maybe I didn't put that much powder. Should I go in with a primer? Her primer had SPF in it, not her moisturizer. Oh, Lord, I'm messing up already. So I'm just gonna do something that I know can't like mess up the space. I'm gonna go in with my First Alley Skin Tune Blur and just acts as if we didn't put all that powder on our face. And then I'm not gonna take any more product, but I am gonna dust that powder, you know, kind of over that. For foundation, it looks like she goes in with a light layer of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, one of my faves. So we're just gonna go on with maybe like a full pump. Try to keep it there. And it looks like she uses the same brush that she used to apply the powder, and she just kind of does these light circular buffing motions. So, okay, this is my skin with one layer. She doesn't go in with like a beauty blender or anything. It looks like she just uses the brush, so it definitely looks natural. I'm not mad at it, but she didn't color correct or anything, and I feel like my hyperpigmentation is coming through right here. I'm not gonna go back in with any more anywhere else, but I am going to focus some right around my mouth, just so that everything looks kind of even. All right, so coverage is given real medium. So yeah, so we're just gonna leave it how it is, but definitely way more natural than I normally go. And I do use this foundation quite often. Y'all know it's one of my faves, but I really do think the tools and just methods that she used makes it, you know, a lot lighter, but I am liking it. It definitely looks like your skin, but better. I'm sure y'all can see on camera. After applying her foundation, she takes the Fenty matchstick and she just goes straight in. No warming it up or anything, so I am going to do the same. And that's it. That's all she does. But, I'm sorry, y'all know me. I'm going to have to contour the lips with the Fenty matchstick. I can't. All right, and then she takes her sponge and uses her sponge to blend that out. This definitely feels weird because I normally go in with concealer first, but we're gonna trust her process. Okay, so next she goes in with the NARS concealers, and she uses a shade pretty much close to her skin tone, just about a shade lighter than her skin tone in the center of her face. So I'm going to take, what is this shade? I think this is Hazelnut. Yeah. I'm going to take Hazelnut and just use that along the bridge of my nose. She uses it on her chin. I think she did some right here. But she does not use a lot at all. So I'm going to try to keep it really light. And then underneath her eye, she uses just a shade, a tint lighter than, you know, her natural looking shade. So for that, I'm gonna go in with Amande, and I'm just gonna use that underneath my eyes. All right, because everything is so lightweight, I'm really trying to blend it in so that it just, you know, flushes with my skin. Because we don't want to see any harsh lines. I think for my comfort level, I just need a little bit more concealer, mostly right here in the inner, because I feel like you can see kind of where my deep set under eyes are. So I just feel like I want to conceal that just a bit more. We're not going to do too much. Actually, I'm going to let that dry down, blend that out, and then I'll be back. So see y'all in a second. All right, so we're back. The concealer situation is looking a little bit more comfortable to my liking, and we're gonna move on. So next, she goes straight into baking, and she uses the Laura Mercier powder. So I'm going to just use a little bit of that. Okay, so we're baking now. She seems to move right into the brows next while she bakes. So I don't have the brow palette that she used. She used the Kelly Baker brow palette, but I do have the BH Cosmetics brow palette, which is one of my all-time faves. So we're gonna go on with this today. She doesn't seem to do too much. She just goes like and brushes them kind of upwards. Lori has like pretty full brows and my brows are on the thinner side, so I'm going to try to build them up to my version of natural, because it's obviously gonna not match hers because we have different type of different type of brows. So she just takes the powder and let me show you guys the shades. I'm using this shade and this shade mixed pretty much. And she just draws strokes. So that's what we're gonna do. I actually really like these brows. They look pretty natural, really good. She just looks like she cleans them up with some concealer, so I'm gonna go back and with my Amande. But actually, since she seems to keep things a bit more natural, I'm actually gonna go in with hazelnuts and use that to clean up my concealer, just so that everything fits this theme. I'm sorry, I mean clean up my brows. She goes in with her contour or bronzer. She uses the NARS bronzer, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the same one and like an angled brush. And she just kind of makes a little fish face and just swipes back and forth. Nose contour, she doesn't do anything too structured. She keeps it pretty, you know, simple by just adding some dimension near her nose, and that's it. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like she layers another bronzer on top, so I'm going in with my CoverGirl bronzer as the secondary one. She kind of buffs away the powder in the center of her face. She still bakes underneath the eyes though. And then she moves on to eyeshadow. I didn't see any eyeshadow primer, so I'm not going to use any. She seems to pretty much use like the same bronzy type of tones. So I'm just gonna go in with that CoverGirl bronzer and kind of just buff that all over the eye. So going on with my Supreme Nudes palette, I'm going to take Aesthetic and then go in with that using pretty much the same brush and just focusing that right here. Then she goes in with a bronzy lid shade, but nothing too crazy. So I'm gonna take Bronziana, perfect name, out of this palette and just put that over the lid. She doesn't appear to switch brushes or anything. She keeps her eyeshadow simple and easy, so I'm going to do the same and just really just give the lid some dimension. To finish off the eyeshadow, she does liner, but she doesn't use a liner. She says she's not a liner pro, so she takes like a dark brown. So I'm going to use Mink for that in this palette. And she literally just tight lines with the liner using kind of like a smudger brush. So that's what we're going to do. She doesn't do a wing or anything. It just literally looks like she just tight lines. And I am going to go off camera, apply my lashes, and come back because she has lashes extensions in this video. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, so now that lashes are on, let's go ahead and move on to the next phase. She goes ahead and kind of just buffs all that powder away. But here's where I'm gonna kind of add in my own steps because y'all know your girl is combination oily and the base of my face has yet to be set, okay? And that, for me, is going to be a problem. So I'm just gonna take my Becca loose powder and just lightly set the rest of my face. She goes in with two blushes. She says she uses like an orange tone blush, which is going to be this one for me, and a pink tone blush. So I'm going to mix my Sephora collection blushes in the shades Poppy and Tiger Lily. And she really focuses those at the apples of her cheeks. She doesn't really take them up here, so. The lips, she goes in with a lip liner. I'm going to take my NARS Spunked. And she uses a Pat McGrath lip gloss. Today I'm going to use mine in the shade Flesh Astral, and she just tops her lips off with some lip gloss. She takes her setting spray. She uses the Urban Decay All Nighter, but I don't have that. I have the Smashbox, and she just sprays her face to lock everything in. The last step after everything is set, she went in with a highlighter. To keep everything kind of light and airy and just more natural looking, I'm going to take my Hourglass highlighter. This is in Radiant Bronze Light. And she really just kind of went on the top of her cheeks, on her brows. And then of course she hit her nose. Nothing too crazy, but she did go ahead and hit it. Set everything off. She took her Dewy Spray by ABH, but I don't have that, so I'm going to use the OMG Glow or OM Glow Cosmetics. This is in Incredible. And she just sprayed her her sponge. Give that a good coating. And then she took it and took it kind of on the high points where she applied her, whoa, okay, maybe I threw too much, her highlight, and just colored over those areas. That was pretty much it for my Lori Harvy Vogue follow along. I hope you guys enjoyed it. How do you think the look turned out? It is definitely different. So if you watch my previous videos, does my complexion look different than it normally does, or is your girl just tripping? So let me talk about some of the highlight tips and tricks that stuck out for me. I really think my skin just looks good. I honestly was uncomfortable at first because I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna turn out how I want it to turn out, but the finished product, I feel beautiful. Oh, I forgot one step, a very important step at that, brow gel. We need to make sure these brows stay in place, honey. So setting those brows. Okay, now we're done. So back to what I was saying, some takeaway things I think I'm going to be incorporating in my everyday routine is the brows. I really am feeling my brows today. I think they look chef's kiss. The eyeshadow is like 50-50 for me. It's not as clean put together as I normally try and go, but I definitely feel like it flatters my eyes. Like as I'm looking down right now, I think my eyes look really, really good. So I think the eyeshadow technique, just like less is more, everything doesn't need to be perfectly blended kind of look, is working for you, girl. What do you think? And I like the way that the highlight is looking. I definitely think the way she applied her highlighter is something that I would do in the future because it doesn't look powdery. It's definitely give you that glow from within, and you didn't have to do too much. Those are my takeaway tips that I will be incorporating in future routines. I hope you all enjoyed this Lori Harvy follow along. Let me know if you like this style video. Should I do more Vogue tutorials? You know whose Vogue tutorial you guys want to see next. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you beautiful people in my next one. Smooches.